Alright, guys, we're going to talk about the movie Tuesday. It's an A24 fantasy drama film. I just watched it. And this is just a lead. This is a non-spoiler review. And if I do talk about any spoilers, it'll be at the very, very end. But I'm very curious to hear what people think of this movie. I didn't know anything about this film, but I heard it was playing at our theater. And I kept getting asked if I had seen it, and I hadn't, and kind of gave me a little bit of curiosity to go check it out, and I finally had the chance, and I went in knowing absolutely nothing. I didn't watch the trailer, I didn't even see this poster, and I was in for a ride. I was kind of creeped out. I was watching it late at night, and it was freaky. It kind of disturbed me in a interesting way, though, and I just had to keep watching. I was very curious to see where this film would go, and it no spoilers, but it is a beautiful ride. It has a mix of emotions, aka genres, and it does really, look, it's about a mother and a daughter who must confront death, basically, because the daughter is sick with terminal illness, and it is kind of a way of bringing them together in the end. And yeah, I can relate to that, having lost a parent, that was dealing with loss and acceptance and dealing with somebody who's sick. So it was a very poignant film for me and that subject, I thought, and did a really good job at exploring that in a way that I don't think I could have imagined myself. And by the end of it, was very impressed with this film. I like that it creeped me out. I like that it moved me. I like that it made me laugh. I like that it made me tear up a little bit. It had a really nice mix of emotions, but I'd be really curious for hearing people's reactions who did watch the trailer or did know more about this movie going in and what that experience was like. I just watched the trailer right now, like after watching the movie, and that trailer gives you a completely different tone. Or I shouldn't say that. It gives you only one tone, I feel like, of the movie. Maybe a little bit of the comedy, but the trailer really does focus on the heart of the story, which is the mom and the daughter story, which I get, and it is that, but there's a lot more that cinematically very interesting that I liked, and artistically which it's very much feels very in line with A24's kind of weird aesthetic that they have. So if you're into that type of stuff, A24, and a movie that is really a mix of genres and emotions, this is a good drama that has a really fun fantasy twist to it, but also a very real life subject that we can all relate to, whether we have or whether we will in the future, because we all deal with loss in some form or another. The performances were quite outstanding. I loved Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I'm not really a big Seinfeld fan, but I'm a fan of hers, and she is very good from things I've seen her in. She has that TV show that she did. What was her big Julia? Louis-Dreyfus shows. Veep. Veep was the other big one that she did, which I caught a few episodes of that. I never really watched any of her shows all the way through fully, but she was quite terrific in this, and I didn't doubt she would be. This is definitely never seen her in a role like this before. Easily would say this is the best thing I've ever seen her in. Lola Petticrew, who I think is a newcomer. They're a Northern Irish actor, and they are also queer and non-binary, and they use the they them pronouns. But they did a fantastic job. I think they're 28 years old, so they were probably 27 when they did this. 26 maybe, because this is actually a 2023 film. We locally did not get this movie playing here until a few weeks ago, or like a week ago, and it premiered at the 50th Telluride Film Festival, which is in Colorado, on September 1st, 2023. And then the film had a limited theatrical release in the US on June 7th. And then before expanding nationwide to Canada on June 14th. So when it went nationwide is when it got a few more screens, even in the US, and that's when I got to see it. But it's a fantastic film. I don't think it's for everybody. I don't think it's for every time of the day either. I don't think I would have caught this film if I wasn't being told about it and if I wasn't reviewing movies, but I am really glad I got to see it. And again, if you're into these types of films, A24, it feels very independent, very experimental, and fairly low budget. I mean, there is some animation, but quite good. I mean, I guess you could say, yeah, with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, that probably cost a pretty penny, but every once in a while a big actor will do something for cheap if they really are interested in the story. And this feels like it definitely could have been one of them. But I loved it, so curious to hear what other people thought. And yeah, I don't really know what else to add. I think it's a good film. There were some just moments that really genuinely freaked me out, but it was probably mostly due to because I just didn't know what was going to happen, and I knew nothing about the movie. I mean, every time I was freaked out, I was like, what the hell is this movie? Like, where is this going? But by the end of it, again, I was overwhelmed with just loving the movie for what it was. But I will wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think below. If you guys have heard of this movie or have watched it or are going to watch it, I would love to hear. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more.